Yo, what's up, you guys? So welcome to day number 10 of the Grass Clippings Open Qualifier Prep. So I'm going to keep working on my wedges here, and I'm going to do a game where I have random numbers generated between 80 yards and 140 yards, which I'll set up on my computer. First shot I have here is going to be 99 yards, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to keep going random distances because I'm trying to simulate what Trevino did. He would talk about when he got on the range, he would never hit the same club to the same target twice in a row. He would choose a different club, different yardage, different target to make it simulate around a golf versus just hitting the same club, same shot over and over again, because it didn't feel natural to him like the golf course. And I want to kind of get myself in that mindset because when I play the par 3 tournament, they're all going to be different distances to different pins. So that's the first half of it. The second half is we're going to have a scoring system here. If you imagine this is the green, I'm going to choose either short or long or right or left to be the trouble. And the other half is where safety is going to be. So here's going to be the scoring system. I'll just randomly choose where I'm trying not to miss. And if I miss it in that bad spot, it's going to be minus 2 points. If I hit the green on the correct side, it's 1 positive point. And if I miss on that positive side, but I still miss the green, it's going to be minus 1 point. So it's very hard to earn points in this game. But what I'm going to try and do is hit as many greens as I can on the correct side to know that I'm controlling my golf ball. So if I can finish anything with positive points, it would be a huge success. So again, first shot here we have is 99 yards. Let's get to it. All right, front half of the green is safe. Better sit. Better sit. Yep, short of the pin. That's 1 point positive. Left side is safe. Right side is trouble. Sit down. All right, we're good. All right, short is trouble. Long is safe. Definitely wasn't my best swing. Go, go, go. Nope, short. Minus 2. Short is trouble. Long is good. Okay, hit it solid. Keep your distance up. Oh, short. Minus 2. All right, right of the pin is safe. Oh my goodness, I freaking drew it when I tried to hold it up. Minus 2 again. All right, short is bad, long is good. Yep, that looks good all the way. Oh, I was wrong. It's short. Minus 2. All right, left is safe. Sit, 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 sit. Too long. Minus 1. All right, short is good. Long is bad. All right, I think I'm going to get one back here. All right, we got one back. Just barely. All right, right is good. Really freaking bailed out, but I hit the green. Plus 1, but not good. All right, left is good. All right, I like that shot all the way. Plus 1. All right, so all said and done, my final score was, which wasn't very good. Could have been better. I actually hit a lot of good shots. Was overall happy with the quality shots I hit. I just didn't control my direction very well. I missed maybe 2 greens, I think. One I bailed out right, one I missed long left, but hit quality shots. They felt good, felt like I was in control. So those things are positive. But again, when I go over to grass clippings, I go play that qualifier. These things are turtleback greens. They're built like upside down soup bowls where the middle of the green's normally safe. It might be a big breaking putt because they're pretty severe from front to back on most greens. But if there's a right pin and the pin stuck on the right, it's going to fall off to the right on probably half those greens, or front pins coming off the front, back pin off the back. You get the gist. So it's very important that you're always able to lean towards the middle of the green, or if the pin's on the left side, never missing on that left side. That way you're not in a position where I put the pressure on my partner. I don't want my partner to feel like, hey, he just missed the green. Now I got to aim 30 feet away from it, play it real safe. We got to make birdies out there. It's a scramble tournament. So I want to feel like at all times I'm giving them the best chance of being able to attack the flag by hitting on the correct sides, hopefully within 10 or 15 feet myself. That way we have good birdie chances and we can both be aggressive. So very important to choose your misses. Now, more realistically, let's say you guys are playing a golf course. Well, there might be water short or a bunker to the right, or a big fall off on the left, whatever you can imagine it is. Normally there's trouble around a green, and being able to recognize that trouble and keep it away from that trouble on the other side is extremely important, especially when there's a wedge. If they throw a sucker pin out there and there's a front pin and we get too cute and we plug in the lip of the bunker and make a double from 110 yards, we feel real dumb. So being able to understand where we want that ball to be left relative to the pin, have good course management, and then actually be able to execute, which we want to have the practice and make that align with our course management game plan. If we can do that, that's where we save very easy strokes. So again, overall, very happy with the shots I hit out there. They're all quality for the most part. It's just about getting that refinement even better. Either I got to aim more sideways when the pin is right or left. I was kind of surprised how much I wasn't able to control that. Long and short is always going to be the hard part with wedges. And I was close on some shots, but again, I got to be able to be more refined with my clubs. Because if I'm expecting to hit it 135-yard shot, I'm trying to hit it 138 so it gets past the flag and it comes up short to 133. Well, I missed my spot by 5 yards. If I miss it by a yard or two, okay. When I miss it by 5, I need more practice. So, good session, stuff that can be improved, but I feel like from the start of my practice series up until now, I feel like things are moving in the right direction, which makes me pretty excited. All right, so let's go ahead and look back on that practice. So again, the main goal I wanted to accomplish going out there is I just wanted to mix and match up my practice. So just like Lee Trevino said, don't hit the same shot twice in a row, choose a different target, choose a different club, because it gets you out of rhythm. It's so funny. I can't tell you how many times where if I had a long practice session, I get to ball number 100, 200, and I get to my 7-iron and I just start putting it on a string because I've gotten into a rhythm. And I'm like, man, I could compete with Ben Hogan. And then all of a sudden I go on the golf course, I go to that same type of shot, 175, 180 yards, pull out my 7-iron, and then all of a sudden I hit it 50 feet from the hole. And you're like, that's not the same thing as the driving range. And it's because, again, when you're on the driving range, if you go swing after swing after swing, you're so comfortable with the visual that's happening. You're so comfortable with the lack of consequences on the driving range versus on the golf course. And again, you have a real sense of the timing of your golf swing versus when you get on the golf course. There's so many more things that can make you uncomfortable. And it might have been 3 hours since you hit your last 7-iron, and it might have been 7 minutes since you hit your tee shot. So it's just a different ball game, and it's really important, like Lee Trevino said, to try and create that into your practice as best you can to make sure you mimic that. Another thing that I notice a lot of students that I work with, whether they're good amateur players or professionals, is they work so hard on their golf swing. They'll hit 200-300 balls a day, trying to get into beautiful positions, trying to have a certain shaft plane, a certain rotation coming down, which is cool. It's all going to be helpful. But all they're focusing on is their golf swing and what it feels like and vaguely how the ball is flying. But what they're never focusing on is their mental game. They'll put in 300 repetitions a day for 6 months trying to perfect their golf swing, and then all of a sudden they'll go out on the golf course and they're just going to take it for granted that their mind's going to be good. They're going to just trust that their pre-shot routine is going to be flawless, that their course management's going to be flawless, that their mental narrative in their head of what they're trying to tell themselves to do versus what they're not trying to tell themselves to do, they trust that that's going to be flawless, which is so silly because they're not training it at all. You should go to the driving range and you should work on your pre-shot routine just like you would on the golf course. Get a yardage. See how far it is to the back edge of the green. See how far it is to the front edge of the green. Determine where is the good place to leave your shot so you are aiming more in that direction, and determine where the bad miss is so you don't try and aim too close to that and miss over there. Then when you have that information, you train that in practice. You aim towards the middle of the green just like I did today. I chose one side to try and take out, whether I was successful or not. I was trying to train that in there, and you try and learn to miss in the direction that you deem to be good. I can't tell you how many pros I've seen where they go out there and all they do is aim up the middle of the fairway, aim straight at the flagstick, because they've never learned since they were a kid to aim away from it. They've always tried to hit a dead straight shot up the middle, straight at the flag, and yes, it's going to lead to more birdies, but if they miss the green, sometimes it's safe, sometimes it's short-sighted, and if they make a couple double bogeys, even if they make a couple extra birdies, it's all for naught. Learning to first have the course management wherewithal to aim correctly, and then second, to have the discipline to aim away from the flag is a train and learn skill that we should all be learning. So all that stuff kind of ties together. Get out of rhythm, learn to see different targets, learn different distances, try and imagine you're on the golf course where there's actual consequences like water, bunkers, stuff like that. The more you can mix it up and try and get your mind involved in what you're doing, the more you can train yourself to choose good targets. And again, if you can do it out of rhythm, it's going to mimic what you're doing on the golf course. And that makes it feel more real. Again, you can't just hit shot after shot and hit perfect ones and all of a sudden be confident. It's like if you can get yourself uncomfortable on the driving range, well, you're not going to be uncomfortable when you get on the golf course because you're already having a sense of what that is from all your driving range practice. So super important to do that. Now, again, the other part of that practice was determining where the miss was. Sometimes it's going to be obvious, and sometimes, the pin's in the dead middle of the green and it's very flat around everywhere and it's not going to be consequential. But normally, the general rule is when you have a front pin, make sure you take extra club and you cover it so you don't come up short into a bunker or run off the front of the green or whatever it is. Short misses to front pins are generally not that bad. Normally, gravity's on your side, but that's a general rule. But definitely on right pins and left pins and back pins, you don't want to miss where the pin is. 9 times out of 10, if the pin's on the right and you miss to the right, you're going to have very little green to work with between the edge of the green and the flag, and it becomes a very tough up and down. Or if you miss left to a left pin, same situation. And the worst one of all of them, again, 99 times out of 100, is missing long to a back pin because you don't have much green to work with, but most greens are sloping from back to front, and all of a sudden, you have a downhill lie, the green is working away from you, and the odds you hit that chip 20 or 30 feet, or you just try and get too cute and you flub it short, is super, super high. So it's first understanding where you want to miss your golf ball. And then again, second, it's about having the discipline to commit to that, which comes back to training. You can't just trust it's going to be in there on the golf course. You want to train it into yourself on the driving range. So the way I would do it is when I'm on the range, do some work on your technique and stuff like that if you need to, and see your shot shape and see your range of dispersion, kind of calibrate for what you're doing. But after you've calibrated, again, change clubs, change targets, and then create scenarios in your head. Okay, I imagine there's water to the left and there's a left pin. Let me aim 20, 30 feet to the right. Let me hit whatever shot shape I'm comfortable with to keep my ball on the right side, and let me see if I can do that. Then let me switch it up. On the next one, I'm going to choose a different target, a different club, and I'm going to put the trouble on the right side. Then I'm going to put the pin back of the green on the next one, and then on the next one, I'm going to put in the front, and just keep switching it up. Keep changing distances, keep changing clubs, keep changing angles of flags you're aiming towards. Just make it as diverse as you possibly can. That way you're getting prepared for the golf course. Again, golf is not just a physical skill. It's mostly a mental skill. Depending on who you ask, some people will say it's 90, 95, 99% mental. The way I look at it is when you're a beginner, it's 99% physical, 1% mental. The only mental part that's tough is the willingness to show up to the golf course and the willingness to embarrass yourself. Everything else is, there's so much physical skill you need to learn. That's where all the low-hanging fruit is. But as your skill starts to increase, your physical abilities get better, so there's less low-hanging fruit there. And now you know a lot about your golf swing. You're almost exposed to too much information, and you have so many things mental that you can start to get better at that the teeter-totter starts to swing. And if you're at the professional level, I think it's 1 or 2% physical because it can get off, but barely at that level. And it's 99 or 98% mental. Normally when those guys get off, it's because they had a bad round or they had a bad week or maybe a bad couple weeks. They start getting in their head, they start changing their equipment, they start changing their swing, and they start to exacerbate the problem where I'd say oftentimes if they just gave it time, the pendulum would start to swing back. So again, a lot of it becomes mental as your skill increases. And again, we can't just trust that we're going to have the mental ability when we get out there. We have to train that into ourselves. So again, practice like today, very, very important. If you can get on the golf course and hit shots late in the evening, it's even better because you're just going to change targets every single hole. But the moral of the story is, if you can change targets, if you can get uncomfortable, if you can see different visuals, if you can train your mind on the driving range and practice tee, you're going to have a lot more transferability onto the golf course, which is what this is all about.